everybody, it's your girl Shauna and you're watching QT Entertainment. Today we have Kitty Kapdeville here. We're going to be doing an interview, model, business owner, and we're going to get to know her a little bit, okay?
Yes.
Alright, so Kitty Kapdeville, tell us about yourself.
Okay. I'm originally from Southern California. I live in San Antonio, Texas now. Yeah. Shout out to the Valley. Everybody from the Valley. Hopefully we got some Valley watchers here. Hopefully. I started modeling when I was 18 and it did not go well. I did a lot of like free cheap shoots with photographers who couldn't direct me, you know, they didn't do like good editing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing and it showed in the pictures. I was very nervous, very uncomfortable in my own skin, and it showed in the pictures. Like when I would go back and look at those pictures, I would be like,
couldn't choose one.
Yeah, I couldn't choose one. I was like, none of these are good. And I feel like I'm so glad that I waited such a long time to get back into it. 'Cause now I'm so much more comfortable in my own skin. Like a lot of the pictures I take now, I wouldn't have been comfortable taking back then. But at the same time, that was 18 and this is 29. So I feel like that growth, that age difference makes a very big difference. I'm smarter now. I'm more ambitious now. I have a better idea of what I want and what I'm doing this for. So I feel like
good.
I'm really
See, growth, okay?
Growth, yes.
So Kitty Kapdeville, that's what I wanted. So that's your stage name.
Yes, Kitty is actually short for Katerina.
Oh, yeah. that was even a good name. So tell us, Kitty Kapdeville, where is that from?
Okay, so Kitty is a nickname. It's a play on Katerina. Kapdeville is a family name, so it is my great-grandma's maiden name. Her name was Willa Mae Kapdeville. Yeah, they were from Louisiana. It was.
I was going to say very southern. Okay.
It was a different time. You know, back then Willa Mae was okay. Now I would never be okay with people calling me Willa Mae. Like, I would if that was my name and I was her, I'd be like, nah, you just call me May. That sounds cool, you know. But yeah, I've always loved the name Katerina. It's something that my mom calls me when she wants something. Yeah, so it flowed. It had a really nice flow to it, and I like that better than my government. So yeah.
Katerina's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the business side. You own a business.
Sexy Maid Service.
Sexy Maid Service. So tell us what that is.
Okay, so a few years ago, 2012, 2013, around that time, I was dating this guy, Deshaun, and it's crazy because his best friend is like Blueface's manager.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So we used to talk all the time, and like I would tell him, you know, when I would be cleaning up and stuff like that, and he'd be like, "Ooh, what are you wearing?" So I asked, what you mean?
Typical.
Yeah. And so he was like, ooh, I have this fantasy of you cleaning my house. And he's like, you're in lingerie and heels. And I was like, do people really do that? Or is that really a thing? So I started looking it up and I discovered Hot Topless Maids in LA. And I was like, okay, well, I want to know how it works. So I went down there to interview, but the questions that I was asking were not questions that an employee would ask. They were questions that an employer would ask. You know, do you pay the girls cash? Like, what is your payroll like? Like, you know, how did you do this and how did you do that? And I think they kind of caught on because the dude was like, where'd you say you were from again? What are you doing here again? But it was really cool. So I started, you know, doing more research, and I found that there were a lot of sexy maid services around the country. It's actually like a whole thing. And I moved back to San Antonio and I tried to get it going with a friend of mine, Mallory. We split the business 50-50. It didn't go well with her, so we ended up having to dissolve it. And at that time, we tried to make a play on our initials, Mallory and Kat. So we tried to keep the MK, so we called it Madam Kitties. But then that dissolved, and then I ended up talking to my dad about it, and he was like, well, because of the kind of business that it is, he was like, you might not want to have the word madam in there because people are already going to kind of make assumptions about what the kind of business is. He's like, you know, it's Texas, this is not LA. people are not as free spirited.
Yes,
So
more conservative.
More
out
conservative,
here.
yeah. So he was like, you might want to, change it. So last year I started working on it, Bombshell Entertainment, and we were supposed to launch this year. Some of the girls weren't really super dependable. But then right around that same time, we did the website photo shoot for Bombshell, and I just had so much fun being back in front of the camera that I was just like, let's do this, yeah. And I found another photographer, and I shot with, so I did 2 photo shoots the same week, and then I found out about my ex. So yeah, it kind of like spiraled. It started spiraling into something, and then I started putting so much energy into modeling and trying to make more money and stack more money, so that I could go back to the drawing board, reinvest in these businesses, and kind of try to think of a better game plan, because I'm trying to Kris Jenner this shit, and you know what I'm saying, build like a whole Bombshell empire type thing. So we've got Bombshell Entertainment, we've got Body by Bombshell, which is the fitness. I want to do like a line of like unisex t-shirts and hoodies, because I love shirts and hoodies and stuff. Yeah, yes. I love hoodies. So I wanted one that said, like I see everybody, they'll wear the shirts that say trap, and it's like take risks and prosper. But I was inspired by a Nipsey Hussle line, and yeah, right? So I was like, instead of, take risks and prosper, I wanted to put the real always prevail. So it would be like TRAP still, with a different meaning. I just felt like it had a more positive spin to it, kind of take the focus off money so much, because I feel like nowadays everybody's so obsessed with money and making money, and I'm guilty.
They lose focus.
Money makes the world go round. But it does, nobody has a conscience anymore, nobody has a soul anymore. They're like, as long as I've got money in my bank account, fuck the rest. And I'm just like, okay, that's what's wrong with the world. Let's try to tone that down a little. So I want to do a lot. I want to be able to afford to be able to give back, and to go in the store and buy a dozen blankets or 100 blankets and go just pass them out,
no
type
problem,
shit. You know what I mean? Like no problem. So
well, it looks like you're heading in the right direction. So that's good. So more about the business. So are you actually going to people's homes in lingerie and cleaning?
Yeah, so we'd show up in like regular outfits. I'm actually trying to have Bombshell shirts made, but I have to redo the logo. So yeah, you would show up in your Bombshell shirt. They would go over everything again with you, what they want clean, etc. And then you would, go change into your little maid outfit, your little sexy outfit, Are
they there?
Huh?
They're obviously there watching you guys, right?
So there can't be any children, and there can't be any like big animals. So if you've got like a 4-foot dog, like you might want to put that away just in case, they, get to tripping. My insurance doesn't cover animal attacks, okay? But just stuff like that. And I know it's probably weird for some people, because they're like, what the, yeah. But you know what? It's not that weird. It's like, okay, if just how we're sitting here right now, let's say you get up and start cleaning, I'm still gonna sit here and talk to you while you're cleaning. So it's kind of like that. You're just half naked. So, and I had to explain this to my parents. I started working in strip clubs. Because for one, as a single female, you can't just roll up in a strip club. Apparently they frown on that. They won't let you in. So I was like, well,
as somebody single?
As a single female, I have to go in there with like a group of girls, or like with a guy and stuff. They don't want you talking to the customers. But like I explained to my parents, name a better place to go to find girls who were okay walking around half naked, working half naked
at home.
Strip clubs, they're half naked anyway. You know what I mean? So where would you find someone who's willing to spend money on someone who's half naked? Strip club. Advertising has been kind of tricky, because they took us off Yelp. Groupon's not fucking with us. Snag a Job, Indeed, places like that, because of the type of business it is, are not fucking with us. They've removed all my applications from there.
No.
They've closed those accounts. Yeah, I tried to put like applications on there, which sucks because I had to create those applications. But yeah, they removed those.
So do you have to recruit like one-on-one, personally, find somebody on the street?
Mm-hmm. Or just that's where working in the club comes from, because you get a chance to kind of see what these girls' hustle is like. Does this girl have a work ethic? Is she gonna sit at the bar and get drunk all day, or is she gonna go around and chat up the customers? Is she charming? Is she, you know what I'm saying? Because I want Bombshell to be kind of like the Hooters of housekeeping. I want it to be like, oh, I work for a sexy maid service, and I want people to not be like, what the fuck? Like, I want people to be like, oh, that's dope. Like, think of it as like our new version of Playboy. Hugh Hefner is gone, R.I.P. But it's time for some new shit, some new millennial shit, and that's kind of where Bombshell Entertainment comes in. Because not everybody wants to be a stripper, or everybody wants to go do, you know, other alternative things, OnlyFans and shit like that. Not everybody wants to do like that. So this is kind of a third option, you know. But at the same time, I want to do Bombshell parties, so it's not just sexy maids or dancers and stuff like that. We'll have like bartenders and, you know, card dealers and stuff like that. And I just, in 2020, I really want to focus on female empowerment and kind of making sure that women are at the head of the table now. You know what I mean?
How do you separate the female empowerment with like all the sexy stuff? Because, you know, we already know people out there, they're not going to take that serious. They're going to think that's real
shady, sketchy.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's honestly been very, very hard, which is where making sure that you have a very good team of girls comes into play, and that's kind of been one of the biggest drawbacks, because you need girls that you can trust. You go inside that house with this person, yeah, there's security, but I'm not there with you personally. I can't go to everybody's bookings with them, so I can't be 100% sure of what you're doing. So this is where lawyers come into play on my end as the business owner, client contracts, employee contracts, like code of conducts and stuff like that, and just kind of try to make sure that my end is covered, because sexy doesn't mean sex per se. And so I want to kind of make sure that the customers and the girls kind of understand that. Risque, yes. You want to be sexy, but you have to do, that's it. That's all you got to do. Just keep it, you know, cute and classy and a little risque, and let's call it a day. So I'm trying to find that balance now. But like I said, I got very caught up with modeling. It just, everything happened at such a crazy time. It was like Bombshell, and then modeling, and then my breakup, and then my mom got sick. So it just kind of, it was a really wild and crazy summer. It's been very interesting. So, well,
you picked back up. You look, I mean, you look like you're doing good. You're not stressing or anything.
You. Oh, on the inside I am. I just wear it very well.
That's good. Okay, so for all the women out there that's wanting to model but doesn't have the confidence, what can you tell these women out here?
Ooh, that is a really, really good question. So I think self-love is really, really important. If you do not love yourself, you are going to make horrible decisions. I was explaining this to a photographer the other day. I am smart enough to realize that most of my pain and my trauma comes from my own bad decisions. I have trust issues with men because I dated the wrong ones. You know what I mean? In business, I struggled with my previous business because I chose the wrong partner, because I didn't think that I could do it on my own. I didn't think that I was enough. I thought I needed someone else. And so my thinking that I needed someone else caused me to lean on someone else in ways that I didn't need to. I feel like with modeling, it's very similar to that. So if you don't think you're good enough, if you don't think you're like, for someone to be like, oh, you know, for this picture to be sexy, I have to take my clothes off. That's not true. You can keep them on, this picture still be sexy as shit. You can cover up every part of you, and that picture can still be dope as fuck. So I feel like that kind of goes a long way. Make sure you love yourself enough to, for one, do only what you're comfortable with. Because if you do things that you aren't comfortable with, you are going to regret it later. And it won't matter how good those pictures look. You can look at Harvey, Weinstein? A lot of those girls, you know, did things that they weren't comfortable with and they regretted it later. Not to say that the situation is the same. It's definitely not. But you see it a lot in this industry. With singers, actors, models, you know, a lot of people go to LA to model or become actresses and they end up doing porn. So, you know what I mean? I'm like, it happens, it really does. And, you know, shit, I don't knock anybody, I don't judge anybody. But I think having a very, very clear plan goes a long way. And I feel like if you So people don't understand that, but making a clear plan for yourself is sort of a sign of self-love. And I watched a Will Smith video on this, so he kind of puts it into perspective. So think about your kid. You love your kid so much, there are certain things that you just would not allow them to do. You would not allow them to play in traffic. You're not going to allow them to stick their hand in the stove. Just certain things you're not going to go for. You have to be that way with yourself too. I love myself so much, I'm not about to let this photographer talk me into taking my clothes off. I'm not going to, you know, waste my time or spend, you know, money on this photographer just because he's a big name and he's going to do things for my career when he's going to treat you like shit the whole time. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? There are people that you should work with and that will help your career, but at the same time, don't do it at your own expense. So I say all that to say, I guess, if you want to get into a business like this that is full of snakes and sharks and vultures, make sure that you love yourself enough to have your own back, because nobody in this business is going to have it. That
is, yeah, that's deep right there. Yes. Well, Miss Kitty, oh, one more thing, y'all. Let me go ahead and get that magazine for me. Shout out to So Cold Magazine. Okay, she has a 5-page spread. I'm only going to show you the first one. If you want to see some more, then you're going to have to order. Where can we get this?
Magcloud.com. The link is on my Instagram.
And then I'll put it in the description down below. But look at that. I want to turn some more, but I can't even do it. You got to get the magazine. Okay, so thank you, Miss Kitty, for taking the time. That concludes our interview. You are watching QT Entertainment. Don't forget to subscribe, comment down below, like and share. And yeah, more to come. Thank you.